going into this, we had watched the Van City Buzz interview with Jan, in which he was just attacked by the interviewer. Now, everyone kind of got what they wanted from that. Oh, look at this beatdown on the controversial pickup artist. But he wasn't being himself in the interview because he was always on the defense and he was editing himself. So what we decided to do was take the get more with honey than vinegar approach and take his side a bit more. Earn his trust, hang out with him, and see what he was actually like as a person. So if you hear us in this interview and you're going, oh, they were totally sucking up to him, maybe we were a bit, but you know what? He admitted some things in this interview that, I mean, there's this part where he's talking about his X list on his phone and things like that. I mean, he was definitely himself. So have a listen, see what you think, and stay tuned after the episode where we'll talk about it. Hi everyone, welcome to Vancouver Right. I'm Alex Biron if you're French, or Alex Byron if you want to take a more Western approach. Either one's cool with me. And I'm here with a small humanoid creature that would normally wear a pointy hat and be displayed on someone's front lawn. That's right, it's Noam Chomsky himself, my co-host,
Simon Armstrong.
And I'm here with Jan. I don't know his last name because it's very mysterious, but he's the man behind Jan Lifestyle, and he's a pickup artist coach. I don't want to misrepresent. How would you describe yourself?
People call me a pickup artist or a dating coach or whatever. The way that I see it is just I'm a pickup instructor.
Pickup instructor, okay. And you say you've interacted with more women in Vancouver than any other man.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, okay. Those are. Do you want to give us an estimate on what that number is, maybe, or do you want to keep that secret?
I really don't know. I mean, if I really knew how many it is, I know it's definitely in like 5 digits.
So do you see women every day that's like, oh yeah, I've talked to her. Talk to her.
To be honest, I don't recognize their faces because I've approached so much. But it's gotten to a point where if I were to go out on any night of the week and I go out to approach, there's at least 3 girls who'll be like, oh, you've talked to me before, or you've approached me before.
Okay.
Do you get shit from chicks who,
Dude, all the time.
Yeah. So what type of stuff do they say to you? Like, what are they?
Dude, the worst rejection I've ever had in my entire life. The absolute worst rejection was I've actually been punched in the face by a girl. Twice.
Like, pop, like,
Yeah.
repeated.
2 pops in the face.
What did you say to her?
2 jabs. Yeah, this was like a long time ago. This was like 2-3 years ago. I remember it was, at the time I was, still going out, like, trying to get good at this stuff. And I remember I was trying to, like, push all the interactions forward. And I remember in the beginning, this girl was kind of into the interaction. And what happened was, midway through, I got a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more pushy.
Okay.
And I was just trying to push the interaction forward. And eventually what happened was she was like, okay, you know what, like, I'm not down. And then I just try to, like, recover almost. And through the recovering, she even had like a ring on one of her fingers.
Oh no.
So she hit me twice in my face. And I took 2 shots in my face. And that night I went home, there was like a dent on my face. I like put an ice pack on me. And that was like the worst rejection I've ever had in my entire life.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
you've never been maced. You should be happy about that.
I think after that whole thing, it's like nothing really phases me. I mean, at this point, a girl could say anything.
Alex is a stand-up comic, and I always think that like being a comic and bombing has to be one of the worst feelings, worst rejections.
Yeah.
But like you probably went through
all the time.
You
man.
probably went through like a awful beginning phase. Like, how do you get back? Keep going out there, trying to pick up, women.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, like, one of the biggest things that a lot of these guys will fall off the horse and they'll never get back into it is a lot of guys will try this whole pickup thing and they'll try to go out, they'll try to meet women, and after maybe about a week of just like blowouts and women shutting them down, they're like, you know what, fuck this, it's not for me, and they kind of go on with their own lives. They go back to being themselves, or just go back to their normal life. And with me, it was more like I never really gave up and I just kept going. I mean, I fell off the horse many times. I just constantly get back onto it.
What were you like in high school? I think that's a
good question. I was shy. I was honestly really shy, especially with girls. I had a
Were you a drama kid?
Oh. No, I wasn't in drama. I mean,
were you in band? You were in something. I know.
I was in basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Yeah, I was on the basketball team. But the thing with me in high school was I didn't have my first girlfriend until I was like grade 12. So I was kind of, most of my friends or people around me, they start dating pretty young, you know, when they're in grade 9 or even grade 8, you know, grade 10. I didn't have my first girlfriend until grade 12, and I was just really bad with girls. I mean, in high school, you know, I'd be walking down the hallway, for an example, and I run into some girl who just, you know, she doesn't even have to be hot. Just some random girl. I can't even hold a conversation with her to save my life.
I remember one time in high school when I tried. Well, I actually went on a date with a chick, and I took her out for dinner at this really nice place. It was like $100 dinner, like unheard of for high school, right? And at the end of the night, I drove her home, and I went in for a kiss, and I put my hand behind her head, and she went "ooh" and knocked it away and got out of the car. I never talked to her again.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I went out for a date with this girl, and she was like, "Okay, where are you going to take me?" And I was like, "Oh, you know, I have a Red Robin gift card, so maybe we should go there."
What kind of awkward interactions are you talking about? Like what? Like you couldn't even like get on that first date type of thing?
Okay,
or?
when I'm talking about awkward interactions, I'm talking about mainly like with myself. Like say like it could be a girl that I even like know, like a girl that I've talked to a few times, but because I'm constantly in my head, I'm constantly in that like I'm not really living in the moment. I'm constantly thinking so much in my head. I had like social anxiety that, you know, even seeing this girl again and trying to talk to her, I would have all these butterflies in my stomach and just start panicking.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever. And thinking about all these things that she could be judging me about. And I used to talk really, really fast. Like, like trying to get everything out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Just so, like, I was afraid that people wouldn't want to hear what I have to say. So for me, you know, after all these years, it's been a dramatic, I think, change and transformation for myself in a really good way.
So what sparked that? Was it at post high school? You were just fed up with the way things were going? Or?
Yeah, definitely post high school. You know, the first 2-3 years of going out, it wasn't too much results. I would probably go on dates or meet one new girl like once a month or once every 2 months. And that at the time was already, you know, a huge breakthrough. And the point where I think the biggest turning point was when I start, you know, meeting and going on dates with like one new girl a week. And that was a huge turning for me because seeing my own results. And I think what happened was that started when I really to find fun and joy in going out and actually interacting and just having fun. Because before, the way I saw it was just like, oh, like putting in work, trying to get better, trying to, you know, get the results. When I really started to immerse myself in the process of doing it, and just every night that I went out or every day that I went out, it just like, it's so much fun. Like I made it fun for myself. So every rejection, like I would make something, like I would laugh about it. Or whenever a girl something really bad about me, it's like, oh, like you suck, or like you're ugly, or like whatever it is. I just thought it was really funny.
I always say, what I do is I say, well, you know what, you suck. How does that?
You think that would work? Would that get him a number?
That's pretty funny, but I think if she says you suck and walks away, it's kind of irrelevant what you say at that point.
Simon has this game plan. He should write a book about it, I think. I think it's really strong. Where what he does is he buys 2 Canucks tickets. And he'll approach a barista and he'll go, "Hi, I've got 2 tickets to the game. Want to come?"
I did try that.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, she said she would love to go with me as a friend. So.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Typical.
Yeah. How would you react to something like that?
No friend zone. And
yeah,
what should he have done? Because he just walked away.
I just said, "Oh, fine, I'll take somebody else."
Yeah. Like, you guys have to understand that, like, guys get friend zoned all the time. It's not because who you are as a person or what she... The reason why men get friend zoned all the time is because they fail to show their intent. They come in through this like nice friendly approach. You know, there's no sexual intent behind that. She doesn't even see you as like a sexual threat. You know, so when she sees you, it's like, oh, like this nice guy. It's like, obviously you get thrown in the friend zone, right? That's like the number one reason. Yeah. So if you want to avoid the friend zone at all costs, be direct.
Be direct.
But I had approached right off the bat and said, "Oh, I want to go to this game with you," and then she said, "Oh, as a friend, sure," and I just walked away.
So what
right?
should he?
So that's not really a friend zone. She's just laying out the no.
One thing is that you're making the offer. You're trying to invite her out too quickly without even, you know, chatting her up or letting her experience who you are a little bit more.
Right.
So you're basically going for the close. I call this like the premature close. So obviously most times
you're a premature closer.
Well, I'd gone to that coffee shop almost every day, right? It's on campus, right?
Do you always talk to her?
Yeah, I always talk to her. Just you know, small talk though, nothing like.
That's the
thing,
thing,
right?
Every guy makes small talk. Every guy makes small friendly talk.
Oh, okay.
And she just thinks you're a nice guy. You know, if you maybe next time when you meet a girl, you want it, you know, offer the same kind of things. What you should do is approach directly, make your intent clear off the bat. It's like, you're very beautiful, What is your name?
And this might be kind of unorthodox, but you think if you brought like maybe a little stool or like a stepladder too, so we could get a more like eye level.
Perhaps.
Well, Alex has done that before, where he's approached a girl and said, "You're
You know what?
beautiful."
Let's talk.
And she flat out said no. And
So I got rejected in front of many people that were waiting for their prescriptions.
Okay.
And I believe my exact words were, "You're very beautiful," and I'd like to take. And
but that setting is probably not great. She's at work. It's a fucking pharmacy or whatever it is, right? Do you think that going out on like Granville Street or just a club area is that where you mostly will hit?
I'll be honest, like I go to those places because there are a lot more people. There's a lot more traffic walking around.
Okay.
So I would have to wait around so long before I approach someone. But honestly, the setting itself doesn't really matter where it is. I mean, I've done high-profile approaches where I'm walking outside like this.
high profile.
When
I feel like that's like
When I say high-profile, I'm talking about like, okay, so listen to this. I'm outside this restaurant and I look inside. I'm with my wingman or my friend of mine, and we see this big round table inside.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a big round woman, and I thought,
No,
you know what?
no,
It's
no. So this big round table, and you see this one girl just sitting in the middle of it, and I literally walked in front of all her friends and everyone that was in the restaurant.
Oh my
just
God.
like a direct approach in front of everybody, and you know, like you
Holy shit.
outside you hear noises, but all of a sudden, like the moment I approach, just all like silence, and everyone just like watches.
No.
Yeah.
Extremely high social pressure. You know, situations like that where I throw myself in.
I would have bailed out at that point. Does anyone have the time? Anyone have the time? Anyone at all?
But the thing was, I just kept talking and kind of like let everyone feel that I'm actually like a cool guy and I'm calm and that I recognize that this is.
What's the first thing you said?
Sorry.
What's the first thing you said when everything went quiet?
I just said, "Excuse me," and then like everyone looked, and I was like, "This might be awkward, but you're very attractive. What is your name?" And I just like, and everyone's like silence, just like watched. And
I feel like ants are crawling out of my pores right now.
But I mean, yeah, like so I've thrown myself in situations like that, and I end up getting her number too.
God
Crazy.
damn it.
I don't remember if she came out on a date or not. I don't remember this.
Now, what I feel to be the pinnacle of impossible to get would be the Cactus Club waitress or hostess. Really, I think any guy out there has had that feeling where it's like, yeah, I'd like a Thai noodle salad, but what they really want is Tiffany, you know?
Right.
And is it possible to get a waitress's number?
Of course it is.
How do you do that?
I have done that before too. It's the way that I do it. The way that I go about things like this is like people always ask me about these different situations. Like how do I talk to a waitress? How do I talk to a girl who's a server or somebody who's working? These are what I call like hired guns. So if you want to like close a hired gun, it's kind of like the same way. You don't want to be the typical guy who's kind of like being overly nice, just to do extra things to just kind of get her number or trying to get her on a date.
Yeah.
What I tell you is the biggest thing is you have to be congruent. You have to be direct. Just kind of be natural about it. Like I would still go direct, like how I would do it to everyone else.
Yeah.
The only thing is I would let her with the time span of her being there, because she's a server. She's only gonna probably be at your table for no more than 30 seconds to a minute.
Do you think it's best to do it while you're there as a customer or to come back when you're not a customer?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's
As long as you're direct
whenever
and
it
to the
is.
point.
Yeah, direct
Okay.
and to the point. And the biggest thing is you think just being direct will work. You have to let the girl experience it. You have to talk to her for a little bit, 30 seconds to about a minute sometimes, even. Because it's at the end of the day, it's all about the vibe. If she feels that the vibe is right and you're a cool guy,
Right.
she'll give you that number. She'll come out and actually meet you for coffee.
What percent of numbers, or what percent of interactions result in you getting a number, would you say right now?
This changes.
Always
This changes.
fluctuates?
It always fluctuates because with my own progress in terms of, with game and with dating women, I never really think about it from a statistical point of view because it will hinder your performance in the long run. For example, tonight I can go out with you and I could get 10 numbers. Maybe one of them will convert. And I'm going to say to myself, tonight I'm 10%. Maybe tomorrow night I go out, I get 5 numbers, and all 5 girls come out to see me.
How do you keep track of all these numbers? Do you have like a secretary that...
Yeah, like I would forget the face. And
Yeah.
Actually, one just...
He's getting texted right
now.
She says she'll be here in 5 minutes, running late. I told her to meet me here because I told her I was doing a podcast.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Oh,
Could
wow.
we get her in for a
Oh, we might
No,
ruin
no,
his.
no, no,
we would
no.
ruin his whole
No,
thing.
no.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You don't think this would impress her? Get you a little heat.
Yeah, you're in a tight room with another
We'll
man.
fucking talk you up, man. The moment she comes in here, I'll be like, so you were talking about how much money you make. Oh, we can't go into numbers right now.
But I'll tell you what, like the way that I track the girls that I meet is I probably shouldn't even say this because
You're gonna say it.
We'll
cut out of the episode. No one will hear this. Don't worry.
You mean like how I track every single girl that I meet?
Whatever you were just.
How do you like? Do you have a file folder that you flip through?
That's-
a roll?
I mean,
No,
that's
I
fascinating.
don't. I actually got this from one of my friends. He's a genius because
I want to just take that phone and just run.
It's a
That's the
holy
master
grail of phone
phone.
numbers right there.
Hello.
Okay, I'll show it to you. So basically, what happens is every girl that I meet, I put a X dot and her name in front of my phone. So with iPhones, like if you put like an X dot,
Oh my god.
yeah,
You should see this.
Oh, I bet it's just a fucking waterfall of X's.
yeah, it's called the X list. It's basically the X list, and
Carolyn Schmidt. That's my girlfriend, Jan. What?
yeah, but basically, yeah, I call this the X list.
So, when do you think that you know that you've been completely rejected? You don't have to wait for a punch in the face every time. Or what's the biggest time that you've like come out of the abyss where some chick's saying fuck no and then you fucking lassoed her back into it? Has that ever happened?
Ooh, yes, of course.
You're asking about the event horizon for
Yes.
rejection.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty much theoretically, I can say right now, like, when a girl says no and she walks away, obviously, at the time, like, it's over. Don't try to, like, keep going after her. Otherwise, people just say that you're harassing her or you're, doing too much. But the point is...
I tend to get down on all fours and go, mama, mama.
But the point is, like, if you want to actually... The way that I see it is not every interaction, like, interaction is never over. Because I've met a girl before in the past where she told me to, like, fuck off, you're a player, I don't want to talk to you, with her friend. And literally a month later, I saw the same girl walking down the street, and I didn't even recognize it was her. And my friend's like, yo, there's a hot chick, go approach her. So I went up to her, and she's like...
Do you just have a fleet of wingmen next to you? It's like they take shifts and
You're
wake you up in the
Beast,
night.
a big V of
Broad outside
wingman.
the building, Jan. Oh, I'm so tired.
You'd be surprised. It's like a Batman going out looking for a different wingman every time.
It must be exciting for you to go to... I don't want to cut this off. Wait, what were you saying about... Oh, you saw the same girl, beautiful, and then you approached her. What happened?
Yeah, so my friend told me to approach her. I don't recognize who she is because it's already been a month later and I approached so much. And I ran up to her and she goes, oh my god, it's you, it's Jen. And I was like, yes, me. I don't even remember, but I kind of just played along with it. Every girl pretty much remembers, who I am after I've approached them because I have such a strong impact, emotionally on them when I approach because it's very direct. So she recognized who I was and we just kept talking. And I spoke with her, I think, on the street for like 5 to 10 minutes and we ended up going on a date. And she ended up being my girlfriend pretty much for the next like 5-6 months, and that's when I fully knew that there was really no such thing as a rejection.
So you think I should go back to that Shoppers Drug Mart and get a prescription filled for love?
I'm gonna go get a coffee.
No,
The Canuck season is over, Simon.
yeah, no,
White caps.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's like never really over because when a girl says no to you, there's so many factors why she said no to you. Sometimes because maybe she lost her phone today, maybe she got fired from work, maybe she doesn't want to talk to you, she just had a bad day.
What if she just doesn't like you?
Then move on.
Right.
There's many.
But what if I'm in love, Jen? She's the one for me.
Then you're probably gonna die alone.
Well, some things are certain. It must be very exciting for you to go to other cities.
What's your favorite city to pick up chicks in?
Ooh, I've been to a couple big ones in the States as well as in China. I would say my favorite would be Vegas.
Oh wow, yeah.
Vegas is hands down one of the best. It is probably the capital pickup in the world. And
Are they just like more drunk or something, or what's?
oh no,
Listen
what's
to how
going
his mind works. Are they intoxicated?
I'm sad.
It's just the vibe, Simon. Keep up.
Are they roofied? Do you have a little pocket of roofies?
No.
No?
Don't use
Oh.
the R word on here.
Sorry, literal.
sorry.
No, this is fine.
Just-
We sit in at least 5
Yeah,
awkward
awkward
moments like this
silences,
an
yeah.
episode. This is pretty
Why
good
Vegas?
ratio so far.
Why Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay, number one, there's a lot more hot girls in Vegas everywhere.
Nice.
Okay.
9s and 10s, as you would say it. And also because most men who don't go down there, they have so much money and they just try to use this money and status and all that stuff to try to pick up girls.
Okay.
And if you're a guy who's confident
I
going
mean, that's
in
what
there,
I do.
if you're a confident guy going in there, and a lot of times you'd be surprised. I mean, a lot of these hot girls respond really well to just personality and confidence.
And that must be a great feeling when you go up to some like unattainable blonde in Vegas, because that's what everyone thinks about, right? Like, God, I'll work for 30 years to come up with the next Facebook so I can fly into Vegas and finally talk to a woman.
It's an illusion. It's an illusion. Thinking that, hot women are not attainable or the so-called like out of my league.
Right.
Like, no one's out of your league. It's retarded to even like think that.
Yeah, you think that's completely bullshit.
That is so retarded.
Yeah.
Thinking that someone's out of your league because your whole self-perception about yourself, you have this value judging system where you compare your value to hers relatively, to the rest of our society. When in reality, you're a fucking human being and so is she.
Right.
We're both people.
That goes back to that whole
You and
problem.
me, baby, ain't nothing but...
That was pretty bad.
It goes back to that whole problem that you had in high school where it's in your own head.
It's all in your head.
Right. So
And what
yeah.
do your parents think about being... Come on, that's a great question.
I think I'm interested, but
Yeah, it's a pretty good question actually.
You're at family reunions picking up passerbys as they walk by the barbecue. I mean,
It's funny you say, it's funny you bring this up because there's actually a time in my life where I was going out and doing this, and I would come home, for a period where I lived at home. I would come home at like 3 a.m. in the morning almost every day. At one point in my life, my parents thought I was dealing drugs or doing something bad because they didn't know what I was doing, and they would ask me. I would always be like, I'm hanging out with my friends. I can't say I'm going out to pick up fucking girls or like approaching women.
Yeah.
And so eventually when I became a coach, when I started bringing income, my dad even got even more suspicious.
Holy shit.
So
Yeah.
So I started to have to actually explain what I was doing. So one day, I sat him down and I told him everything from beginning to the end of how it happens and how I got into this. They were blown away at first. They had no idea what it was. My mother, till this day, still doesn't really...
When you sat them down, they probably thought you were going to say, I'm gay.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's the opposite of gay, Mom.
It was one of those moments. But I mean, she thought... so even till this day, my mom still doesn't really like what I'm doing, but she's kind of like forced to accept it because it's like the reality. And my dad is, on the other hand, very supportive, and he...
Of course he
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You got to be his wingman sometime. Well, he's got... That's stupid. He has a wife.
Yeah,
You stress loving and respecting women, but a lot of people perceive being a pickup artist or instructor
Right.
as a disrespectful or like an objectifying
It's
thing.
not disrespect at all, because when I say loving and caring for women, I'm talking about like actually humanizing them. Okay, like you don't want to see them as an object.
Right.
Because when you do it that way, if you see every woman as an object, it's funny because then you don't actually get the girl. Because you're trying so hard and you're trying all these tactics and moves, and it's like they're a machine and you just try and press buttons and see what works. When in reality, the whole direct approach I'm talking about and just being yourself and let her experience you is actually humanize her. No one's really out of your league. She's just another human being, just like you. Mm-hmm. So when you can really humanize her, as a person,
yeah.
you no longer like, you're not scared like, oh my gosh, she's so hot, she's so out of my league, she's so beautiful, she's so all this, and like psych yourself out. You're basically aligning yourself with her. It's controversy because it works. And it literally contradicts everything that everyone has been ever taught in their lives about women. It's a fucking lie.
Right.
So growing up, pretty much everything that I was told about, what's attractive and how to attract girls and how to talk to girls, is basically wrong.
What
So
can you give me specifics about what you thought before was the right way to
Okay.
go about it?
So for example, like growing up, I was taught to, just be a nice guy, take her on a date, be romantic. A girl will just like fall in your lap, or like what Asian parents will reinforce, like get a good job, get a good education, make a lot of money, and a girl will just like suddenly fall in your lap.
Right.
They make
That's
it sound
exactly
like
what my Asian parents said.
that was pretty good, but you get what I mean,
Yes.
right? So they just think that it'll magically happen.
And that you need to earn... You work for 20, 30 years.
Right,
then,
and that's
yeah.
also how marketing works, is they'll put a beautiful girl next to a
Right.
nice car.
The more unattainable they are, the more shit you'll buy. Right?
Yeah, they make you think, you know what, if you have this nice car, you're going to get that hot girl. When in reality, it's not like that.
You're making me feel pretty good about the lease I have on my my Jag right now. I don't have a Jag. I've got a question. How can my friend... I've got this friend who's in a relationship, and he really wants to have a threesome with his girlfriend. So...
Oh, your friend Alex.
Yeah. Alec.
Oh, Alec.
And,
With another girl?
With another girl.
Nice.
Yes. So how can... If you're in a relationship and your girlfriend is pretty much open to the idea...
Yep.
how do you interact with women and find a bisexual girl or a bi-curious girl, and I mean this is a serious question,
Yep.
who will complete
it's-
that menage a trois?
It's legit. What
I'm
needs
glad
to
you
happen?
think so.
No, that's a legit
Speak.
question. But what needs to happen for this guy to have a threesome with his girlfriend and another girl is that he needs to take the lead and take her out. So both of them go out at night and go out and actually find a girl who would be down for this.
So kind of make it a date almost.
Not even a date. Like he would go out and pimp
shit.
it, like pick up girls with his girlfriend.
Oh wow.
And basically his girlfriend would be his pivot. So what I mean is he would go and approach girls with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And as long as the entire frame
Like
that they're
right
seeing-
next to each other, or one of them approaches and then kind of points over at the other person who's having a drink
Oh
or
no,
something.
they can go together.
Wow.
They can go in together and chat up some other girl, or even groups of girls.
It's funny how that's such an obvious answer, but it's like my friend never would have thought of that.
But it's the actual process is a little more complicated because he has to know how to screen for girls who would be down for that.
And how do you do that?
How do you like screen for girls? Who would be
Yeah,
down?
totally.
Find out. Go for makeouts. 3-way makeouts.
Okay, so kind of go out with the girl,
Yep.
go to spots,
Go to a nightclub with your
Right.
girlfriends.
and could you have like a wingman couple, like another couple that was there?
That was
I'm
weird.
I'm fucking with you. Okay,
But
so
I mean, your girlfriend would be the best wingman ever. You take your girlfriend out. Like my roommate actually did this. He took his girl. They went out a couple nights,
oh my god,
and they actually went and tried to find another girl to go have threesome with.
you should
and-
do a boot camp that's primarily for couples that want to find
That'd be pretty awesome. But I mean,
unicorn searchers.
Yeah. Majority of my clients are actually just newbies who don't really know how to approach at all, and just
Now, I mean, have people
Super-
found people that they've married from this yet? Has that happened, or you're too new for that? Like, what kind of responses there been?
I haven't heard anyone who's married, but it's super. It feels really, really good when I have a guy. You know, my previous clients, they text me. They're saying like, "Oh my god, I met this fucking girl we went on a date with. The sex was awesome. Like, thank you so much." I get messages like that, and I've even had guys who come back and ask to be my assistant because it was so effective and they loved going out with me and it was so fun. So I've had those.
Wow.
Yeah. I've had guys who find their girlfriends and they just quit and they don't go out anymore.
What's the process like when you teach people? Do you sit down with them and explain the theory or something, and then
Yeah,
you
good
go out on a
Right.
school field trip?
Right. So yeah, field trip. I mean, this is awesome. Yeah. So the way that it works is the theory part is a must because before I take them out in field and actually practice applying this stuff, you have to know what you're doing.
Right.
You know, you can't be like a chicken with your head cut off. You know, going in talking to a girl, not knowing where you're gonna take this interaction. You know, just going up to say hi. So I sit them down. I break down every concept of how I do it, and I'll even show them videos which are not on YouTube. You know, these are exclusive videos where it's like full uncut, where it's from me meeting a girl to all the way taking her home. You know, this could even be during the daytime. And
Do you
I
wear a
show
little
them-
hidden camera on your?
No, I have
Google
a camera
Glass?
I have a camera guy following me around with a microphone on me, so they can hear and watch everything.
From the point you meet her to the point you take her home?
Yeah.
There's a guy, and how do they respond to the camera guy that's standing there?
This isn't a TV quality camera.
It's
Like-
hidden. It's a hidden cam.
Yeah.
And then after you ask their permission and they say, okay, I'm cool with that?
Well, I never release these ever.
Oh, right.
I can't pull a
These are
chick
never-
with Canucks tickets. He's got a guy follow him with a camera.
I mean, the other reason why we want to have you, because this is just somebody that lives a life that is completely different than any of the stuff we do. I mean, I compare being a pickup artist to being like, look at him checking his phone.
Oh man.
What does X stand for, by the way?
Nothing, just X dot.
Oh, okay.
It could be Y, it could be Z, it could be anything. You can start your own like Z list if you want.
Yeah.
It'll
be empty.
Is that the kind
It'll
of
be
girls I'm
empty.
meeting? Yeah, a lot of people would compare being a pickup artist to like skydiving or just some sort of heart-stopping, like somebody that wakes up every morning. Like, do you get intimidated by your own life, having to that you open your eyes in the morning, you're like, oh right, that's what I do. I have to go out on the streets. Like I would kill myself.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I wake up thinking like it's still like a reality that I'm.
You can't
I mean-
stop now, right? You can't be the guy that did it for a bit and then
No, I love what I'm doing. You know, I'm not gonna stop. Like I love my life. I love what I'm doing. You know, that's why I'm doing it. And it's just that growing up, I never thought that I would be, a professional, pickup instructor.
right.
Can you imagine, like, when I was in grade 12, I would never think I'd be this good with women when I was that bad. But everything is just, like, when you're in the moment, right?
How many pickup artists are there in Vancouver? Like, this is like the Magician's Club where you pass people in the street and you
There's a
tip your
lot.
hat too.
There's a lot. I think any given night, if you go out on Granville Strip, you'll see at least like 5 to 10 guys walking around picking up girls.
Do guys get annoyed that you teach other people like the secrets of the trade? Like they're going, "What the fuck? You're narrowing down the, my prey or something like that." You know?
What do you mean, the guys who go out and pick up?
Yeah,
Do they
like
get
you're
mad?
teaching other people, right? And so it's like more competition almost.
Yeah, some do. I mean, some do get mad.
Yeah, really.
Others don't, because others like, sweet, I get more wingmen to go out with.
Have you ever picked up a gay guy just to see if you could do it?
No, but my friend tried to. Sorry.
No problem.
So
Getting
Just responding to text, you know.
getting
how it is.
some tit pics. Something
anyways,
like that.
My phone hasn't buzzed once, by the way.
I think I got a fucking Blue Jays update or something on my phone.
Yeah.
That's about it.
What were you saying, sir?
I forgot. What was your question?
We were talking about the other pickup guys and if they get upset or
No. They some do get upset because there's more competition.
yeah.
Others love it because like, oh sweet, more wingmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What should a good wingman do?
Yeah.
A good wingman should really distract her friends while you are trying to pick her up, so they don't cock block you.
Wow.
So, do you teach wingmen too, or do you? Can
Yeah,
you?
of course, of
what's a
course.
good distraction technique?
There's no distraction time.
You just kind of, oh, look over here.
keep them engaged. Keep her friends engaged so that they don't come and cock block the girl and pull her away.
I see.
Because sometimes, like, even if the girl likes you,
Why do girls cock block? Why does that happen?
sometimes because it's jealousy. Other times because they don't know who you are and they don't want. They think
Right.
they think their friend's in danger or something. You know, they're trying to save their friend or think because they have no idea who you are. You're just some guy who's approaching, right? So sometimes if you're just by yourself, you have no wingman. You have to kind of deal with the cock blocks. You know, they'll come and cock block, introduce yourself. You know, handle the interruption. Introduce yourself. Show them that you're actually cool. So they leave you alone. They don't cock block you with their friend.
How is it going to be different when you go to Shanghai? You're teaching a course there, right? Are you
Yes.
teaching in English or 2 languages or
Probably in Chinese. Probably both.
probably both?
Yeah, because
Okay.
people there who sign up, they do speak English. So.
How is the social climate there different than here?
Very, very different.
How so?
Because in Asia, the thing about Asian countries is that in Asia, the culture is really, you know, compared to the Western culture, it's a little bit more, I would say, conservative. So the girls there don't get approached very much or at all. You know, even here, without pickup artists, you know, guys like you still approach guys like him, still chat up the, you know, the barista, you know, at Starbucks. But in China, you know, the girls don't get approached by men at all. You know, there's no time that they ever get approached. So when you approach, it's a little different because here, if you approach, they think, oh, it's just some guy talking to me. But in
Right.
China, when you approach, the first thing that comes to their mind is,
This is the first
what
man
the
that's ever
fuck
talked
do
to
you
me.
want? Okay, the first thing's like, what the fuck do you want?
Right.
Okay, and then she gets, you know, goes through the process where she realizes, okay, he's actually a normal guy, and then it goes from a normal guy to like, oh, he's actually pretty cool.
This is literally like I have so many questions that I could ask this guy forever, but your
Yeah.
entourage is waiting, and so you
Yeah.
got another like 10-ish minutes. Are you cool?
Probably like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5
Okay.
minutes, yeah.
He's got places to be.
Yeah. When you're at a club, I find that it's such a hard place to talk to anybody. You know, girls are just having their little dancing party. We just came here to dance.
Yeah.
You know, how do you make connections when Tiesto is pumping through the speakers?
You mean at like those rave events and
Clubs in general. Yeah.
clubs in general, like when they go there to dance, get physical.
I like that.
Be more physical. Like, especially if you're on a dance floor, it's so loud, you can't really interact and she can't really hear you. You have to get close. You know, you have to get physical. Because ultimately, communicating with her, you know, talking to somebody, communicating with somebody, words is not the only way. You know, a lot of it, I call it like sub-communications. Your eye contact, the way you look at her, the way you touch, the way you move, the way you kind of like gesture. So all those things are what I call subcons. So one of the most powerful subcons is physicality. You know, how does a girl know that you like her, that you're actually into her, that you want to take her home and you want to fuck her is physicality. You know, you wouldn't touch a girl that you don't like. So...
How do you really teach that though? Changing your body movements and your body language. Like it seems like such a natural just thing to do. You know, when you're gesturing or something. How do
Yeah.
you really get that
you
deep
would be
into?
surprised
Yeah.
because a lot of guys are not very expressive.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, a lot of guys are overly inhibited. So for example, if I, you know, see a girl in a nightclub and some guy who doesn't usually talk to girls, he's shy, he's not gonna go up and be like, hey, right? He's gonna be like, like kind of hesitant, about his touch,
Yeah.
which comes off as really creepy when you're hesitant.
Yeah.
So you have to really commit to your actions.
Alex for example, is a sociopath, so he shows no emotion whatsoever. Do you think you could help him at all?
Perhaps.
He's not a miracle worker.
Yeah, I know.
Good luck to you out there. I don't know what to say. I mean,
Thanks for
this is
having me,
like-
guys.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Alex Biron.
I'm Simon Armstrong. You can catch Jan at janlifestyle.com or on his YouTube channel, Jan Lifestyle. We'll put all that in the description of the podcast.
Follow
And,
me at Alex Biron88, and I'll be at 7 Lounge this Sunday at 7 o'clock.
I'll be there too.
Okay.
You can please email us at 604podcast@gmail.com. Thank you very
Love
much.
the ending.
Blah, 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 blah.
All right.
I feel
I
like
think that exhale says a lot.
well, that's more of it's complicated exhale, I
Okay.
think, because
Fair enough.
I part of me hates the fact that we indulge someone with that big of an ego to such a degree, where we were clearly ball washing and dick sucking.
Yeah, going into this, I didn't want to attack him, and then, that was a lot harder than I thought. That wasn't an uncomfortable hangout, really.
Not
was
in
it?
any way. It wasn't
No.
uncomfortable at all. There was a few moments, but that was between you and me, really, not caused by him.
How do you dick sucking? What is the not Urban Dictionary word for? Do you mean like sucking up to or catering to his?
Catering to him. We're
Catering
letting
to
him get away with his own self-centeredness, whereas I don't let you get away with it, and you don't let me get away with that.
Right.
So why? I think that I understand why we did it. It's important to do it because we wanted to get an interesting interview, which I think it is, because it's such a strange, weird perspective on being a guy in a way, but at the same time, like, I feel like we've almost been like lied to ourselves in a way where we're
I feel like I
disrespecting.
hypnotized myself.
Yeah, I feel like a hypocrite. I think that's really what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because
How are you a hypocrite?
well, because I like, I pride myself on trying to, be an asshole in a way that lets, where I'm not letting other people get away with like, being
Yeah.
self-important
Okay. Yeah,
dickheads.
that makes sense.
And then I also don't want people to let me get away with it, right?
Yeah,
That's probably why, I haven't fucking left you in the dust at this point, is because you don't let me get away with bullshit or whatever.
Yeah,
And I
fair
think it's hilarious. So the fact that
Well,
we let
that's
him,
what this episode is then.
right.
It's that, and then us having problems with parts of it and learning from it.
It's such a weird feeling because I like the interview, and I like I've probably said already, I'm actually interested in hearing his point of view because he's a douche.
And I want to clarify, when Simon says he's a douche, he doesn't even mean that maliciously. It's just that is...
You have
It's
to be.
impossible to say those things without...
It's impossible
across as a douche.
It's impossible to have an X list on your phone of all the
Exactly.
chicks that you've picked
Yeah.
up and not be a douche. Like, that's just what. Yeah, that's
I'm
like
sure it's pretty great having an X list.
Yeah.
But you don't get to also be not a douche.
you don't
That's
get to
just the
have
way it
a
is.
man bun and 4 buttons undone on your shirt and not be a douche.
Yeah, where were those little riffs when he was on the other side of the glass?
Oh, his fucking ball sack was in my eyeballs. So
That's the thing, though. If you had said that, though, we wouldn't have had the...
he would have fucking left, as he should have.
Yeah.
We don't know him. There's no reason that we should start insulting him.
So
in
don't
his face.
don't feel too bad.
Yeah.
I was really interested, dude. You seeing his phone, like, he has an X list, and it was massive. Jen,
God.
Jasmine, Jennifer, every name,
It's funny too because we were.
and he was getting text messages.
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
He was meeting. No, it was completely unrelated. But he was meeting a chick out front, and he had some wingmen with him. Was those?
He came into the studio with wingmen.
Oh, they were here before.
No, I don't know. They must have been in the
They-
car.
they
They
drove
let him
him
off.
here.
They parked, and then he came in. So he had an entourage when he came in. Sits down. He's getting text from the girl. Walks right out the door to meet her at the camp. He met the girl here.
Here.
That's pretty. They're probably at a coffee shop somewhere on campus.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
I was just doing a big interview, with some guys here at the radio
Well,
station.
he was. This is a big deal.
Oh God, yeah, it's such a weird. No, but
I feel better after this.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just gonna mention when we've had such a argument over his name at leading up to this. You were all in with Jed, and I was like, no, Jen. Both of us were wrong. It's Jan. But when we first met him, you said, oh yeah, so how do you pronounce your name? He goes, yeah, Jen. And we go, oh
Yeah,
God,
dude. It's
still don't know.
because it's fuck.
How do you feel about it?
I feel good.
Yeah.
If everybody that listens to the episode hears the beginning and end, I'll feel good 90%, and the other 10% is just like, I never want to suck dick like that again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But I understand the value in sucking that dick.
I would never literally suck a dick to get ahead in the industry.
Yes, you would.
Would I do what I just what I just did to get this, which I feel is a really good growing point for the podcast? Maybe I would.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see what comes of this, if people like it. I don't know.
I don't
know how I feel about this.
I think it's kind of funny though too, because we're talking I'm insulting this guy for just being so self-centered, and yet this whole extra to this podcast is just so fucking self-centered, and we're just deconstructing ourselves at this point, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but
so
you're not pulling.
How deep are you supposed to go?
You're not pulling hundreds of people on an emotional roller coaster with your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People can just stop listening to the podcast.
That's true. Yeah, as you should. Stop listening to this. Stop listening.
Okay, so another thing, unrelated to the pickup artist, is we have a massive cult following in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Possibly quite literally
What
a
happened?
cult.
Yeah.
Are you what is going on, Oaks?
Someone in Oklahoma learn how to use a fucking computer and email us.
Don't.
Email us.
No.
Come
Don't
on, they're
insult them.
good natured down in Oklahoma. I've been to Oklahoma. I drove through Oklahoma, and I went and stayed at a Best Western, and the woman behind the desk was the fattest fucking receptionist I've ever seen. She was wearing a muumuu. It looked like she hadn't changed in years. And then when I got into my room, she called me up and said, "Oh, hey there, darling. How's the room doing?" And in the background, I could hear.
You fucked her, didn't you?
Well, that's beside the point. In the background, I could hear a woman yelling at her, "There's fucking pubes in my bathroom. I want a new room. How's the room there, darling?" "Oh, it's good, ma'am. Thank you." "Fucking pubes."
That's
And
great.
She hangs up, yeah. That's my Oklahoma story. So shout out to Oklahoma. Fucking email us, you fuckers. 604podcast@gmail.com.
You can't just let sentences trail off like that. Because I'm listening to you. I don't have something in the chamber.
You're right.
In
I feel
case
like it
you
is.
choke.
I feel like it is objectifying women in a way. As much as he spins it, I don't feel comfortable treating women like that to some degree.
How so?
Well, just it's a numbers game. You're just going out there being, oh yeah.
Well, you're at 0 though. Like for you,
Yeah.
having 1 would be an improvement.
No, but I
don't
have-
think anyone's gonna drum up any, objectification.
I just have a bunch of sisters. I have 5 sisters, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going, if someone was trying to pick up one of my sisters, for example, I wouldn't like that. It would bother me, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, "You're a fucking scumbag and a dickhead."
If I went out,
So I feel like
if I was single and I approached one of your sisters just on the street and asked them, "Do you want to go out sometime?" That would offend you?
no, but if you were using methods like tried and true PUA methods, it would annoy me. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we didn't really get into the relationship thing with him.
I think what he's saying, what he teaches, it's the same as a cult that teaches self-improvement stuff that is kind of common sense anyway.
Right.
Yeah, being direct and confident is great. Going and getting what you want is great. Building a little system with it where it just stagnates and, gets creepy.
Here's the creepy thing. If you want to meet a girl and you go out and be direct and it works, good for you. But these fucking guys are going out every day and doing it. That's what gets creepy and weird
Yeah.
and uncomfortable. You're going out every day going, yeah, gotta do this, gotta do
I
this.
agree with that too. Yeah.
Okay, meeting a girl is hard, sure, but if you can use those things to meet a chick,
Making it a sport,
yes,
no matter what you say, is objectifying them. Because instead of a basketball or a baseball, you're trying to score points with women.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we got it. You got the interview, so that's all that matters, right? There's the interview. Here's what we think about it. Send us a fucking email, 604podcast@gmail.com.